Stop doing these crochet stitches wrong. If you're a beginner and you've been watching tutorials for hours, buying yarn, starting over 3 times, and still ending up with a mess that looks nothing like the picture, this video is literally made for you. Because here's the thing, most beginner crochet tutorials skip the stuff that actually matters. They show you what to do, but not why it's going wrong for you. And in 2026, there are a few specific tips that can completely change how fast you actually learn this. So stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll understand the E-stitch, how to actually hold your hook without your hand cramping up, and why your tension is probably the reason everything looks uneven. Let's get into it. Okay, so first things first, if you just picked up a crochet hook for the first time, or you've been trying for a few weeks and nothing is clicking, I need you to hear this. You are not bad at crochet. You were just never told the right things, and that's not your fault. Crochet looks simple when someone experienced does it. Their hands move fast, the yarn flows, and the stitch just appears like magic. But when you try it, it feels like you need 3 hands, your yarn keeps slipping, and you honestly don't even know which loop you're supposed to be putting the hook into. That confusion is completely normal. Every single person who crochets today went through that exact same stage. The difference between people who push through and people who give up is usually just 1 or 2 things clicking into place. And that's what we're doing today. Let's start with something that a lot of beginners don't even know exists, the E-stitch, also called the extended single crochet. You've probably learned the single crochet. You insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both loops. Done. It's the most basic stitch. But there's a version of it that gives you a taller stitch with more flexibility, and it's barely more complicated. That's the E-stitch. Here's how it works. You do everything you do for a regular single crochet, insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. Now, instead of pulling through both loops right away, you yarn over and pull through just the first loop. You'll have 2 loops on your hook now. Then yarn over and pull through those 2 loops to finish it. That one tiny extra step changes the height of the stitch. The E-stitch sits just between a single crochet and a half double crochet. It's really useful when a pattern looks too flat with single crochet, but too tall and loose with half double. A lot of beginners skip it because they don't know it exists, but once you add it to your toolkit, you'll use it all the time. Practice that stitch on a small swatch. Do maybe 20 of them in a row. Don't worry about it being perfect, just get your hands used to the movement, because muscle memory is how crochet actually clicks. Now let's talk about something that messes up almost every beginner: tension. Tension is just how tight or loose you hold the yarn while you're working. And if your finished piece looks wavy, lumpy, or just kind of off, tension is almost always the reason. When your tension is too tight, your stitches are really hard to get the hook into. Your hands curl up, your hands hurt, and the finished piece ends up smaller and stiffer than it should be. When your tension is too loose, the stitches look sloppy and uneven. The yarn slides around and you can't control where it goes.
The goal is somewhere in the middle. Consistent, relaxed, but controlled. Here's what most people get wrong. They think tension is about how hard you grip the yarn. It's not. It's about how you guide it. Your non-dominant hand, the hand not holding the hook, is the one controlling the tension. Limp? That's where the inconsistency comes from. Try this. Wrap the yarn loosely around your index finger on your non-dominant hand. Let it drape over the other fingers lightly. As you crochet, that index finger is going to do little micro adjustments, pulling the yarn up slightly or releasing it slightly to keep each stitch even. It sounds complicated, but your hand will figure it out naturally after a few hours of practice. And here's the truth. Tension is never perfect on the first project, or even the second. Every person who crochets, even people who've been doing it for years, still sometimes has a tension day where things just feel off. Don't let it discourage you. It gets easier. Next up, let's talk about your hook grip, because this one affects how fast you get tired. There are 2 main ways people hold a crochet hook. One is called the pencil grip. You hold it the same way you'd hold a pencil, with your thumb and index finger near the flat part of the hook, and the hook pointing away from you. The other is called the knife grip. You hold it from above, like you're holding a knife to cut something, with your thumb on the flat part and your other fingers wrapped underneath. Neither one is wrong, but a lot of beginners start with whichever one felt natural in the moment and then wonder why their hand cramps up after 10 minutes. The key thing is where your fingers are sitting. If you're holding the hook really far down toward the tip, you have less control over what the hook does. If you're holding too far back, you're working harder than you need to. The sweet spot is your thumb and middle finger on the flat thumb rest, usually right in the middle of the hook. That one adjustment alone can make a session go from painful to comfortable. Also, take breaks. Seriously, even if you're really into what you're making and you don't want to stop, put the hook down every 30 to 40 minutes. Stretch your hands out, roll your wrists. Crochet is repetitive motion, and the soreness that beginners feel in their hands and wrists is mostly from not giving those muscles a rest. Once your hands get more used to it, you can go longer, but in the beginning, little breaks save you from a lot of pain. Now let's get into counting, because this is the thing that silently ruins projects without people realizing it. When you're working in rows, every row should have the same number of stitches as the last one. If you started with 20 stitches, every row should end with 20 stitches. But if you're going up or losing stitches in every row and you don't know why, here's what's happening. The turning chain. At the end of every row, you turn your work and make a chain or two before you start the new row. That chain lifts your hook up to the height of the stitches you're about to make, and depending on the stitch, you might or might not count that chain as a stitch. For single crochet, the turning chain is usually one chain, and it does not count as a stitch. You skip it and start your first single crochet in the very first stitch of the row. For double crochet, the turning chain is usually 3 chains, and it does count as a stitch, so you skip the first stitch at the base of the turning chain and work into the second stitch instead. If you're not sure whether to count the turning chain, your pattern should tell you. If it doesn't, the general rule is single crochet chains don't count, taller stitch chains do. Getting this wrong is the #1 reason rows end up with different stitch counts, which is the #1 reason your rectangle turns into a weird shape. Use a stitch marker to mark the first and last stitch of every row when you're starting out. You can use a little plastic stitch marker, or you can literally just use a piece of contrasting yarn tied through the stitch. When you finish a row, check those markers. Did you work into both of them? Yes? Great, you kept your count. Let's also talk about yarn and hook sizes, because picking the wrong combination makes everything harder. Every yarn has a recommended hook size on the label. It's usually printed on the little paper sleeve or tag on the yarn. If you're using a really